Okay, we're back. And here
Now, you've been waiting for this next instalment, and here it is. These are the important numbers we're going to do now, aren't they?
the really important numbers. Behind us is the coveted cup.
That's what you're after?
That's what you're after.
Cup. There's a few more cups. You've been playing too.
Yeah, well,
See that?
these old cups. Now, let's start from the top.
From scratch?
No.
Worst?
The worst, yeah. Well, it'd be no surprise.
It pains us to put these figures next to anyone's name that's playing in the Masters.
Okay, in at 31.
We're
31 strokes.
I think we're not fair.
31 strokes.
Frank,
Not many surprises here, are there?
No. Well, Frank and Brent always on the same, bringing up the rear. So Frank with his new shoulders and stuff, even though he's a
I
bit
think we're going to
sheep-like.
give him 30. 30 and Brent 31.
31. Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, this is the surge.
Yeah.
Frank, you're on 30, Brent 31.
He's been whacking on about it ruining his score. It'll help.
Next comes Rusty.
No, Sol?
Yeah,
Sol's in next.
Rusty.
Rusty, is it?
Rusty, yeah.
Oh.
That's his golf name. Rusty. So he's coming in at 28.
Bill Murray.
The knees, mate.
28, yeah. No, Sol's putting is just like, you know, he's really hitting it well. I think he's a big show to get the playoff, and it'd be good to see him in the playoff.
I'd love to see him.
Yeah,
Love to.
yeah. I don't know how he'd go, but you got to start somewhere.
Well, look, before we even go to the playoff, let's just set the record and say, Andrew, if you make the playoff, we're going to give him 2 strokes.
No. Depends who's in it. We've got to sort that out on the day.
You're a hard man. Okay.
So Sol on 28.
28. Yeah. Okay. Next we've got
Rick.
Rick on 21.
Yeah. Pulled in a couple of shots from 23.
He was on. Yeah, you were on 23 with the surgery. Giving you 2 points down to 21.
And he knows that helps. He's pretty much said as much.
So that should cure the hook, shouldn't it?
Slice.
Slice.
He goes to the right. Yeah. Yeah. I think he's tightened up one side of the body and loosened up. So it works.
Imagine he starts walking out every time.
I want my money back.
Send him back to the surgeon. Just adjusting.
Just tweak it back a bit. Ripped off.
Okay. Next, Jack on 18. Look at that.
Oh yeah, Jack.
Ooh.
Gee, everyone's got a show, haven't they?
Yeah, well, that's really good. That's a great hand.
Same as every year. We've all got a good show.
And here's a bit of a surprise. Next is me on 14.
Terry.
14.
14.
Jack, I'm giving you 4.
Giving Jack 4. Well, that's that's big of him.
I was in. Thank you, Paul. You did the scores.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that he was in last year's playoff,
yes.
it's handicapped an extra point. So I think you'll agree with that. You can't have the same playoff guys. It's boring unless it's me.
Exactly. And speaking of you, look at that. Paul's coming in at 10.
10. You see,
The algorithm put him in at 16.
They had me at 16. I took a stroke off for being in the playoff, and then I've taken another 5 penalty for being the champ.
Yep.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Down to 10.
Get my name on that.
Have you got the cup and
No,
grade?
I'll do that shortly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it a polish.
On your to-do list?
Yeah.
Okay.
And to iron my master shirt.
Well, did I say that's a lovely shirt?
It's nice, do you like the stiff collar?
Mm.
I'll be loose by it. I'm going to sleep in this next couple of months.
Have you ever worn it?
It's the first time I've ever worn it.
Have I said look smart on you?
Handicapping, thanks. Who's next after I'm 10?
Paul.
Yeah. 10?
Oh,
Christopher.
Chris at 9.
9. Oh, sorry, I've got Teapot on 10. Jeez.
Teapot
What,
on
I'm the
10.
same as Teapot. Anyway,
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Because I think he's been sort of...
He beats me every year, but anyway, I'll take up the challenge.
And there's some sort of unfinished business between you and Teapot, really, isn't there?
Not on my part, but did we skip Russell?
Oh, shitters. Well, what's he down next to Frank? Who put this order in? Russell, you're on 12.
We may not have. We'll have to look back through the tape, but he's on 12.
Russell's on 12.
So Russell's hit the same score year after year after year.
Eddie.
I think we did do Russell's. Sorry for repeating.
Have we done Russell before? That makes it 2.
Move on, we've got about 10. There,
Oh, okay,
hang on, we'll keep going. Keep
Okay,
going.
there we go.
So me on 10,
Yeah.
Teapot on 10, and next we got on to Chris.
And Chris on 9.
9.
And then it goes right down to...
So Chris, because you've had a good, you hit it really well last year, you made the playoff as champ. 9's probably fair.
Very fair.
You know, that puts me and Chris on about the same, and he's been beating me for a number of years, unless it falls apart. But anyway, he likes a challenge.
Captain on 4. Very generous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I just check that?
Quentin on 4. And minus that.
It's 4. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it says 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, figures are there.
Figures are there. And I'll chop it.
We're welcoming back Chop.
Yeah.
Yeah, get your name on that if you can, Chopper, but we've all been gunning for you. Just scratching
Yeah,
again.
scratch again this year. And good luck, everybody.
There you go. So we can go for the top again. Chopper, scratch.
Yep.
Quentin on +4. That's a good challenge. Then Chris on 9. Teapot and myself on +10. Then we go to Russell on +12. Terry on +14. Then we've got Jack on 18. Rick on 21. Sol on 28. Bren and the Sheep on 31 each.
And oh yeah, we're going to tell everyone it's down at Shoreham this year, not at Foster. Don't go to Foster. Shoreham.
Yeah, no,
Cape Shank.
We've changed from Venus Bay to yeah, and it's a good course for us, the Flinders course.
Oh, very generous.
I've won there. In fact, Flinders, a little known fact, it's the scene of the first genuine playoff.
Really?
You know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I think 3 or 4 of us were all hitting off the same on the last hole.
Because on here, the first one is Bendigo.
Brent might have won that. No, it wasn't the first tournament, but it was the first playoff before we manufactured a playoff. So top 3 scores into the playoff as usual. Crowds all following, helping out.
And we're all doing our own cooking.
Oh no, we'll sort something out, Frank. And yeah, I predict at least 6 of us in the playoff this year. I reckon that's another spot on handicapping.
And let's do an early prediction on the winner form. An early call.
Well, I've got no chance.
I think it could be Teapot's year, you know. I think he's a strong contender.
Yeah, no, he might pick 2. I think most people would pick Teapot, a bit like the captains do in the beginning of the footy season. I'd say, yeah, 4 out of 5 every Masters players would go the pot.
Although the Chop, if he makes it to the playoff.
Well, he picks himself every year.
Oh yeah. No one blows their own trumpet harder than Chop. Deafening, actually.
Even from up in the hill. Country hillbilly, come on down.
And that's it.
You can come for a swim, Tomo.
Do you think they're sick of listening to us?
Probably, yeah.
Okay,
But
then.
that's so they're your handicaps. You know, work towards it. If you think you can do better, go out and do it. Get lessons, do what you like. It's out now.
And if you don't, give Paul a call.